Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Evening Devotion. So real quick, tomorrow I'm going to do a special video for Brother Stanley. You guys have seen him comment from time to time. He's the guy in India that I sent Bibles to for his personal ministry he has in his home. Him and his mother are in dire straits. They are in a pretty bad situation, and he's asking for help. I don't know how, because the way to send donations to him is kind of complicated. So I don't know how it's going to work. You'll see it all. I'll share everything with you in the email tomorrow. But at the very least, we can pray for him. The very least, we can pray for him and his mother. Because they're in a bad situation. Their building's being condemned, and they're being kicked out, and they got nowhere to go. So we'll deal with that tomorrow and talk about that tomorrow. Stanley is a beloved brother. I talked to him often over the years, and his ministry has reached a lot of people. So I know the Lord will provide. He always does. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how it unfolds. And I'm interested to see what the Lord does. I'm interested to see how it plays out and see where him and his mother end up and how the Lord will bless them. Tonight we're going to read out of John 11:4. This sickness is not unto death. When Jesus heard that, he said, this sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified through it. So this sickness isn't unto death. It's so that God gets the glory and that Jesus will be glorified through that sickness. He's telling you the purpose behind these things. Remember, we talked about this just over the last few days. This thing that's happening, this sickness this person has, is for a specific purpose. This is why bad things happen. A lot of people ask, why do bad things happen? This is why. The Lord is revealing something. He's revealing his hand. He's revealing his purpose and his will. Let's go up to verse 1, the death of Lazarus. Very, very famous story. Now a certain man was sick, Lazarus of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Mary who anointed the Lord with fragrant oil and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. So not only did he save the Mary that he cast 7 demons out of, but he also saved her brother Lazarus. Therefore, hi Osita. Therefore the sisters sent to him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom you love is sick. So him and Lazarus were very close. When Jesus heard that, he said, this sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified through it. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. So when he heard that he was sick, he stayed 2 more days in the place where he was. He didn't immediately go. Why? Because there was a purpose for what was happening. Then after this, he said to the disciples, let us go to Judea again. The disciples said to him, Rabbi, lately the Jews sought to stone you. And are you going there again? Jesus answered, are there not 12 hours in the day? If anyone walks in the day, he does not stumble, because he sees the light of this world. But if one walks in the night, he stumbles because the light is not in him. These things he said, and after that he said to them, our friend Lazarus sleeps, but I go that I may wake him up. Because Lazarus was a believer. He wasn't really dead, though his body had ceased to function. Then his disciples said, Lord, if he sleeps, he will get well. They didn't know he died. However, Jesus spoke of his death, but they thought he was speaking about taking rest and sleep. Then Jesus said to them plainly, Lazarus is dead, and I am glad for your sakes that I was not there, that you may believe. Nevertheless, let us go to him. So evidently these guys are struggling with faith. This event was orchestrated to bring them to faith. You see how the will of the Lord and the way he does things, how it changes the whole scenario of what's happening, that it brings about a result that opens the eyes of those involved to the point of salvation. Stanley, if you're listening, and I know you are, what's going on with you and your mother is for a purpose. It seems bad. The Lord will bring glory out of it. Glory for his name and blessings for you too. I know this. I know this is as much as I know I'm sitting here talking to you guys in this video. Then Thomas, who is called the twin, said to his fellow disciples, let us also go that we may die with him. He's like, we get to go to heaven. Let's go. We get to get raised. Let's go. See, they may have been thinking, oh, the resurrection, the future resurrection. Is it happening now? No, it wasn't quite yet. The Lord is revealing examples of that stuff and integrating into the daily life opportunities for his and the Father's glory. I'm the resurrection and the life. Will go a little further. So when Jesus came, he found that he had already been in the tomb 4 days. Now Bethany was near Jerusalem, about 2 miles away, and many of the Jews had joined the women around Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Now Martha, as soon as she heard that Jesus was coming, went and met him, but Mary was sitting in the house. Now Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you. Look at her faith. Look at her faith being revealed in this event. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. See, this was on their mind. They knew it was coming. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he may die, he shall live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? She said to him, yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who is to come into the world. Pretty powerful conversation, but look what he proved there. Look what he was revealing. I'm going to go a little further because the most powerful verse in the Bible is contained here. Verse 28, when she had said these things, she went her way and secretly called Mary, her sister, saying, the teacher has come and is calling for you. As soon as she heard that, she arose quickly and came to him. Now Jesus had not yet come into the town, but was in the place where Martha met him. Then the Jews who were with her in the house and comforting her, when they saw that Mary rose up quickly and went out, followed her, saying, she is going to the tomb to weep there. Then when Mary came where Jesus was and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying to him, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. Therefore, when Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who came with her weeping, he groaned in the spirit and was troubled. There was another reason why this event had to happen the way that it did. Jesus needed to experience loss of a loved one from a human perspective. He needed to experience the sorrows of others. It was exercising his empathy. He needed to see what it felt like. He needed to see what it was like. He needed to experience it firsthand. This is what makes him such a great high priest, and he experienced this firsthand. And when he said, where have you laid him? They said to him, come, Lord, come and see. And then the most single powerful verse in the Bible, also the shortest, verse 35, Jesus wept. Then the Jews said, see how he loved him? And some of them said, could not this man who opened the eyes of the blind also have kept this man from dying? No, he had to die. Again, it was for a purpose, multiple purposes. And then he raises Lazarus. Then Jesus, again groaning in himself, he was in pain. Like we experience loss, he was in pain. Came to the tomb. It was a cave, and a stone lay against it. Jesus said, take away the stone. Martha, the sister of him who was dead, said to him, Lord, by this time there is a stench, for he has been dead 4 days. Jesus said to her, did I not say to you that if you would believe, you would see the glory of God? Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead man was lying. And Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. And I know that you always hear me. But because of the people who are standing by, I said this, that they may believe that you sent me. Now when he had said these things, he cried out with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. He had to say Lazarus' name, because if he didn't, anyone else who was dead in the area probably would have rose. Lazarus, let's go. So where was Lazarus at that time? His body was in the ground. Where was he? Abraham's bosom. We have a story about this, the rich man and Lazarus. This may have been the interaction he was talking about. He just didn't, we don't hear about the other side of it. Just saying. And he who had died came out bound, hand and foot, with grave clothes, and his face was wrapped with a cloth. Jesus said to him, loose him and let him go. He was tied up. They had to let him go. Amazing, amazing interaction, and an amazing example of the grace and mercy of the Lord. Wow, we went way down there. There we go. You can't just read part of that story. You've got to read the whole thing. Hi, what you looking at, Osito? From our Lord's words, we learn that there is a limit to sickness. Here is an unto within which its ultimate end is restrained, and beyond which it cannot go. Lazarus might pass through death, but death was not to be the ultimatum of his sickness. In all sickness, the Lord saith to the waves of pain, hitherto shall ye go, but no further. His fixed purpose is not the destruction, but the instruction of his people. Wisdom hangs up the thermometer at the furnace mouth and regulates the heat. The limit, number one, is extraordinarily comprehensive. The God of providence has limited the time, manner, intensity, repetition, and effects of all our sicknesses. Each throb is decreed, each sleepless hour predestined. Many of us have been experiencing sleepless hours lately and throbbing pain. Each relapse ordained, each depression of spirit foreknown, and each sanctifying result eternally purposed. You are not enduring these things you're currently enduring by accident. It's also contrary to what many teach. It is not punishment. It's something far more grand and purposeful. Nothing great or small escapes the ordained hand of him who numbers the hairs of your head. Doesn't count them, numbers each individual hair. Everything that you're enduring is by purpose, by design. You're not being punished. A lot of people have taught that. I was taught that. You're not being punished. How can the Lord be mad at you? You're saved. There is no anger towards you. No condemnation, not subject to wrath, doesn't exist. These things are for a purpose. These things are for an ultimate design that we don't fully understand. 2, this limit is wisely adjusted to our strength, to the end design, and to the grace apportioned. Affliction comes not at haphazard. The weight of every stroke of the rod is accurately measured. He who makes no mistakes in balancing the clouds and meting out the heavens, commits no errors in measuring out the ingredients which compose the medicine of souls. We cannot suffer too much nor be relieved too late. 3, the limit is tenderly appointed. The knife of the heavenly surgeon never cuts deeper than is absolutely necessary. He doth not afflict willingly, nor grieve the children of men. A mother's heart cries, spare my child, but no mother is more compassionate than our gracious God. When we consider how hard-mouthed we are, it is a wonder that we are not driven with a sharper bit. The thought is full of consolation, that he who has fixed the bounds of our habitation has also fixed the bounds of our tribulation. You will endure no more than the Lord gives you. You will experience no more than the Lord has decided for you. And when he brings you into it, he will bring you out of it. Stanley, Nina, I remember the other names. There's a couple other people that had asked for prayers and stuff. All of y'all. You're enduring things. These things are appointed. These are appointments, divine appointments. And what it works into, we don't fully understand or know until it happens. Like I was talking about with our agent yesterday up in East Texas. We'll look back and go, oh, well, that's what was going on. Okay, I understand now. It all works out for the good of those that love God. It's all for our blessing. It's all for his glory. It's all for the benefit of the children of God. So don't think for one second these things happen to you because you did something wrong. That's not the case. You're saved. You're washed. Don't think for one second that he's punishing you. Why would he punish his son? Because when he looks at us, that's who he sees as his son, because we're washed in his blood. No, he's blessing us. We just don't realize it because we've never been taught what to look for, because most people don't know what to look for, even our best teachers. What he's doing is a blessing. It may not feel like it. It may be correction, but it's a blessing. See, we're looking at it from our perspective, not his. When you learn to start to look at it from his, you start to realize what's really happening. And it makes it easier to see or view the end result and to embrace what's happening and move through it patiently. I can't get up in the morning without the Lord giving me the strength to do it. I can't go to bed at night without the Lord giving me the strength to do it. Sometimes it hurts to go to bed. It hurts to lay down. I can't do anything unless the Lord gives me the ability. And I may not understand what the future holds. I may not understand the events happening right in front of me real time. But here's what I know, and we can all know this because the Bible tells us this. It is all according to his will. It is all by his hand, and it will only go where he says it's going to go. Where we see disaster on our behalf and because of us, he sees providence. Where we see trouble, he sees blessing. Where we see darkness and destruction and failure, danger, pain, and suffering, he has ordained blessing. And again, let me reiterate my point. We won't see it going through, into it or through it, but when we turn around and look back at it, we'll realize, wow, that was the Lord. Now I see where he was taking me. Let that teach us to approach every scenario this way, with this understanding, with this knowledge, so that he is glorified. We're blessed. And so that the people watching are also blessed, just like we read here about Lazarus. We saw it stated in there. The Lord knew this is what's going to happen. The Lord knew. And may it teach us compassion for others and their situations that they're in, so that we will be gracious to them and generous and help where we can. And at the very least, pray. At the very least, pray. Lord, thank you for these lessons. We need them often because we forget. We forget. We need the reminders. And I thank you that you give them to us through these devotions and through your scriptures. I love you all very much. I bless you all in Jesus' name, and I'll see you in the next video.